I try to explain that to my students. They're like, well, Brian, and we're going to talk about DeFi. When I go on Uniswap, because I get my students to use these trades, I got charged this gas fee, but there's no gas on Coinbase. And I just laugh out loud. And I'm like, do you know what these guys are doing over there? They're giving these big bid offer spreads. They're making mad money. It's probably crazier there than the trading floor of Stratton. You know, they're making.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh my God, we are choir boys compared to what's going on now.
You're right, and you know, I had Alex Mashinsky of Celsius on here, and he was calling them out, saying, "Yeah, this isn't crypto. This is a stockbroker. Broken crypto is what it is. It's an old school institution that's using
it's nothing to do with crypto.
Yeah, do an instrument. Yeah. I think people need to be aware of that. Right now, you know, they've got a lot of liquidity. They're making a lot of money, but it isn't the blockchain. That is more where the DeFi space is." And let's talk about that, because you've called the blue chips, I think, Bitcoin and Ethereum, as in the two most stable of the cryptocurrencies. I think you have both. We have both here as well. Can I just get your thoughts on Ethereum, because it'll take us into DeFi. I was at a conference here in London, and Mike Novogratz from Galaxy Digital was there, and he said, look, Bitcoin is digital gold. He said Ethereum is more of a technology play. He said that's more of a tech play is what you're doing, or a financial technology play, and it trades more like a tech stock. How do you see Ethereum, and then how do you see these DeFi markets? Because it's pretty fascinating stuff.
So they're very different. You know, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're very, very different types of assets. I look at Ethereum as almost like the railroad track that's being laid around, you know, the country right now, in the world, allowing the connections from one place to another and for things to be transported on those tracks, so to speak, right? Which is all the different tokens that you can, you know, move along the different rails that Ethereum creates up between computers around the world. Very, very different. I think that there's some fundamental problems with Ethereum right now in terms of, you know, how expensive it is, and it can be sluggish at times, and the entire, you know, proof of work concept going to proof of stake. And I know that they plan on making that move at some point. And I think that when they do, it's going to be a massive boon for Ethereum. If it actually works and it allows for, you know, gas fees to drop to negligible amounts, I think that you have this massive network effect with Ethereum, that people are building applications on Ethereum. So at a certain point, it just makes it like sort of the default network of choice that everyone else is building on. It's like how, you know, the iPhone becomes so powerful because everyone has their apps they build on it in the App Store. So all the developers are now increasing the value of this iPhone, and what, you know, the operating system that was created by Apple is made far more useful by all the apps, that the applications that people then create that integrate with an iPhone. The same thing's happening right now with Ethereum and Solana too. People, you know, Solana was launched after, like, trying to make it as an alternative that's cheaper and more effective. But in essence, Ethereum's got this massive lead right now. So everyone is out there, all these, you know, young, ingenious people trying to come up with the next great thing that's going to disrupt whatever it's going to disrupt. And they're using Ethereum as the railroad track, in the same way they're using the iPhone with your app that you're building. So I think you could draw a straight line almost to what was happening when I'm going to develop the next great app. That was back in like the 2010 to 15 with iPhones, right? Everyone's an app developer. Now we're talking about DeFi applications with how do I use the Ethereum operating system, so to speak, to develop my application that's going to solve a problem and get rich like that in the crypto world.
Yeah, and it's a victim of its own success, because right now the biggest complaint I get from my DeFi Academy students is the gas fees. They're all complaining about the gas, and I say, look, just put the first trade on in small size so you can understand how the railroad tracks work. And guess what? We got solutions. We got layer 2s in Polygon. We got layer 1s like Solana and AVAX. And I've had Cardano and Tron and all these others. And I've had a bunch of those founders on the show. And it's coming. But it empowers this new decentralized finance world. And, you know, Jordan, I think it was last year, May 8th, when I lost the race to be the next mayor of London, I took a look and I thought, what am I going to do next? And I looked at the DeFi summer of 2020. And Jordan, I saw what was going on, and I thought, this reminds me of Bankers Trust in the 1990s, fixed income derivatives, except you don't need a balance sheet, you don't need 20,000 employees, you don't need a direct line to the Fed. You can be 15 guys in Tel Aviv and a dog, or 12 girls in Singapore with a cat, and you can put up Uniswap, and boom, you can have the same volume as Coinbase. And I thought, this is real. the total value locked. I'm telling you, I was like, I'm in on this. So that's what we've been doing the last year. When you see DeFi, whereas like you said, these platforms where you can actually literally see your trades happening and there's not a middleman market maker like at Coinbase. When you see that, what do you see in DeFi and why are you so excited about it?
I think those are ingenious applications. And I think that, listen, they're ingenious. It's definitely the future, certainly for crypto. I believe in a lot more than centralized institutions, being in charge of all the buying and selling. It's almost like a DeFi, well, let's say a centralized institution in crypto is like shoving a square peg into a round hole. It just doesn't fit. It's like the exact opposite of everything that crypto was intended to be, which was decentralized, right? So take that for what it's worth. There still needs to be far more transparency, I believe, in all of these, major DeFi protocols. Whether it's SushiSwap, PancakeSwap, like Uniswap, they're amazing, and I think they're going to be even better in the next 3 to 5 years. And I think that I just can't overestimate how important regulation is to this market, because I think the more this is regulated, it's going to create such fierce competition. Smartest people are going to come in and make this stuff cheaper and more elegant. And I think ultimately they're going to make it very, very difficult for the Coinbases of the world. It's going to be almost no more need. Why would you want to have a Coinbase? I don't really know. I mean, listen, I have an account there right now. I do. And I have a lot of money over at Coinbase because right now in today's world, it just makes it easier for certain things, right? But I don't think that's the future of this world. I think the future is in these DeFi applications. And I think they're brilliant. You brought up a great point. 12 people with a cat, I know that happened in Brooklyn with, I think it was SushiSwap. I think it was SushiSwap. There was one of the swaps was there. So Uniswap started there. I know people that were founders of it. And they just, literally, they killed it. They did it with 12 people and they replaced what was a 20,000 person institution with clever coding. And brilliant stuff.